Let's go live to Israel. Rita Panahi. Rita, how are you? Lovely to see you up on the wall.
I am thrilled to be with you. It's early morning here, but I've been watching the program and everyone's doing beautifully.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Well, we can relax now.
I'm judging you from afar.
What have you been doing in Israel? And tell us the good bits as well as the probably fairly upsetting bits.
Well, we've had some extraordinary meetings with everyone from politicians. We're going to be in a few hours sitting down with the Israeli president. But really what's been particularly moving has been talking to the victims of October 7, some of the survivors, the families of the hostages, the father of Shani Look. She was in so many ways the face of the October 7 terrorist event, the harrowing footage of her body, broken body, being taken into Gaza on the back of a pickup truck with this despicable men spitting on her. So to speak to her father and to understand how he deals with that grief and how he deals with that atrocity was really quite powerful. We visited a kibbutz right on the Gaza border, Kfar Aza, where 62 people were murdered, 19 were taken hostage, many others injured, and spoke to survivors there. That was, again, a really touching, poignant moment, and you saw the destruction with your own eyes. You saw how these people had no chance. They had no chance. As the same with the Nova Music Festival, that was where 400 young people lost their lives, and again, many more injured. And to be on that area, on that dance floor where they've now got the memorial, where so many of those kids were killed, and they were really just kids. They're young, in their early 20s, many of them, and now to see people of their age in places like Melbourne and Sydney protesting, essentially making themselves useful idiots for Hamas, it just brings it home just what a mad time we're living in.
James.
Rita, I'm curious that you said you went and visited the kibbutz where so much of the attack on October 7 happened. We were talking earlier about the fact our Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, when she was in Israel, as you are now, said she didn't have time to go and visit. I was just wondering, as someone who's been visited, how much of an impact do you think that would have had on our Foreign Minister and on her perspective, had she bothered to go and see what you have seen?
Look, it doesn't matter how much you've read about it, how many people you've interviewed who've been impacted, to be there and to see the destruction, to see just the extent of the horror with your own eyes is enormously powerful. And that's why so many leaders have made the effort to go there. And for Penny Wong not to do that, I think speaks volumes, and especially given the way we are voting at the UN. And I can tell you, whoever you speak to in this country, they are very much aware of what's happening in Australia. I've been shocked by that. It's not just the politicians who are aware. You can speak to anybody, shopkeepers, people from around the country, and they will ask you, what is happening in Australia? Why do you hate us? Why is there's so many anti-Semitic attacks? Why is there this explosion of hate? They are aware of individual incidents as they happen, and they're absolutely aghast. They don't understand how that's happening in Australia. So that has been actually fairly confronting, because we were in a bakery just a couple of days ago, and people there wanted to know where our group was from. There's about 6 of us. And when they were told Australia, they said, do they hate us like the rest of their country? That's the attitude here, that they feel like Australia has abandoned them at their time of need, not just at the UN, but as a country.
Caroline.
Rita, how are you? Great to see you. I hope I'm doing a good job filling your very big shoes, and I don't mean that literally. You have lovely, delicate feet. Now, what is the spirit of the Israeli people like? Have you found, how are they dealing with this? I mean, it's been 14 months of conflict. there's been these horrendous stories written about Israel and on television around the world, portraying the conflict in an utterly biased way, not here on Sky News, of course. How have you found that they've been coping over there?
They're resilient. And they've said that 6 months ago they felt they were under siege, they were being attacked from all quarters, but now there's actually this optimism about the future. They feel like they have all but defeated Hamas, Hezbollah, Syria, the Assad regime has fallen, Iran is increasingly isolated, and with the Trump administration going in and the most pro-Israel president we have seen, they actually, just about everybody you speak to seems to have a great deal of hope. But with that, there is this dismay and disappointment with what's happening in the West, in countries like Australia, with the hostility towards the Jewish state, the hostility towards Jewish people. So you've got those two competing emotions, and you feel that very strongly when you're here. But they are certainly a very resilient people. You cannot doubt that.
So, Rita, now I understand why Caroline was rifling through your cupboard this morning. I caught her there. She was looking for your shoes.
She does have an impressive heel collection, though.
I thought we were colour coordinating.
You are beautifully colour coordinated.
We are
I want a
sisters.
one-word answer from you. This will be very hard for you. One-word answer to the John Prosciutto. What would you say to John Prosciutto this morning?
Leave.
Thank you very much.
Leave.
Rita Panahi there in Israel.